back to Broducation. This is a bonus episode. I'm so excited. It is later than I usually record. I am fresh-skinned, dewy, glowy, glazed donut before bed because we are doing a trade show recap with a product haul and getting into some products that I have known and loved, recently found, have to have, and stocked up for the studio. I also want to talk about just like the trade show vibes, right? Like what to expect, what are you getting yourself into, what should you take advantage of, what should you avoid. It's overwhelming, sometimes in a really good way, sometimes in a not so fun way. Let's just get into it. Have you ever been to a trade show? Would this be your first one? You know, I'm going to be talking about it for everybody. Whether you're seasoned and it's your 100th or you're thinking about going end of this year, next year, either way, this is for you. I just got back from Face and Body Show in Sacramento. I think it's my fourth or fifth time there. Well, I go pretty often every year. I really, really love it. I feel like it's a new experience every time. This was its second time in Sacramento, and in true fashion, it was a completely different layout. I had to walk around the entire building because where I thought the entrance was from last year was a completely different side. So that's always a joy. Feel like I've only gone with like a group, which was when I was employed one time. Otherwise I've gone alone. I feel like either way is fun. I feel like when you go alone, you're kind of forced to network, which is really cool that I did experience that when I went with a group or met up with friends. Like I feel like we stuck to each other and didn't talk to anybody else. That is definitely a tip, I guess. I have worked, I guess, like assisted at two of them this year and last year. Last year was definitely more hands-on. I was like in the booth the whole time with Emily, which was freaking awesome. I didn't walk the floor as much this year. I wanted to walk the floor a lot. The first day I kind of did more of that and just kind of chatted with the Brow Down team, and then the second day I was more hands-on with them and we had the class, which was so much fun. What should you how do you prepare for a trade show, right? Well, I always feel like, now this is my take. I feel like everyone is a little bit different, and this is just kind of my preference. If you're somebody who's kind of like ADHD and kind of like to have a plan or anxious or anything like that, anxious for it being your first time or kind of what to expect. This is the predominant only show that I've been to. I feel like I might have gone to one other one that I can't think of right now, but this is the one that I know the best. Next year I really plan to do the international one in Vegas, but I'm gonna stick to what I know. There's a few reasons I also love going to the local one, and I'll get into that in a second. Preparing for the show, one thing that I've done and haven't done, and I noticed a big difference, was this year I downloaded the planner, like the planner app thingy that Skin and Ink created for the Face and Body Show. They're the ones that put it on. And I felt like it was really cool because they would send you alerts, like when classes are starting, like if you add it to your planner, and like when speakers were going to be talking at the stage, and if someone needed a model or different things like that. I just felt like it was a lot easier to be involved. And then like if things schedule changed or if like things changed in location, which that's neither here nor there. I kind of feel like I have an opinion on that. But it's kind of nice because you do get a heads up. It's like the best way that they can communicate with you and keep you apprised of the show. I thought that was really cool. I did that this year and I noticed a big difference. Always researching. I mean, trying to get early bird special or finding a discount code because they're always out there is a great way to go to the show. And then there's a couple reasons I kind of prefer to go to both days instead of just one. I feel like they spread out the education pretty much, and one day might go another way and then the second day might go completely different. So it's kind of fun to go both days, and you never know what to expect, especially on the second day. Sometimes the deals get better, sometimes they're trying to get rid of stuff, like they don't want to have to like pack up and go home. So it's kind of fun going both days and getting that kind of experience. Also researching the free classes. I feel like advanced education is great, but I also feel like, and this is personal opinion, I feel like a lot of the times I would rather recommend investing in like a training or something instead of investing in like the advanced education for these types of shows, because they give so much good free education that I feel like this is kind of the place to take advantage of that, and like pick everyone's brains. So maybe not the best place to like heavily invest in being locked away in a classroom all day. And I do feel like we have to remember that at the end of the day, these vendors are trying to sell their product, their businesses, they're trying to get our like their wonderful products, albeit into our hands, and that's their goal. Same with the classes, their goal is to teach you something about their products and what they're selling. So just keep that in mind. Now, one reason that I really like the local shows is I feel like you can run into local vendors. One of them that I ran into this year was Lilac and Flint. So freaking cute. They're in Sacramento, and I had heard of them maybe one time, but was not very familiar at all. And they're a super cute little line, and they're based in Sacramento. So I think that's really neat, and I love supporting local, even if it's a little bit broader. And an esthetician based business is always wonderful too. Her whole thing is hydration, and a lot of acne style products are drying, and these ones are supposed to be more hydrating. It's also a very simplistic line, which I feel like there's a lot of beauty in that. We've kind of dived in a little bit, preparing and why local places are really cool. Also, they're smaller. I feel like even though they are small and they don't have a ton of booths, I feel like because there's less people and less attendees there, you're actually able to sit and talk with these educators, CEOs, everything, and really pick their brain and ask a lot of questions and get a lot more feedback than I think you ever really can, especially when most of the time we're not really interacting with the businesses that much that we partner with, like email and online and things like that, sometimes over the phone, but rarely in person, at least for the brow world. I know the skincare world's a little bit different, but in these instances, it's really cool to talk to the CEOs, the formulators, or the educators, like I said, and then sometimes even meeting people, other trainers in the area that are for the line, getting to hear their stories, finding places that are local to you or near you. Yeah, I just feel like it's a really good way to connect, and especially if you want to get into any sort of partnerships further maybe, or social media or anything like that, building an in-person connection is going to go 10 times further than online. Obviously, I feel like you can just bond a little bit easier. So huge rec there. Okay, I am anxious to just get into it because I have all of these goodies sitting around me and I want to talk about it. So I'm going to talk about, I just talked about Lilac and Flint. Love it, love it, love it. I used it today, and honestly, what I've been using prior was Face Realities, and I felt like it had a similar scent to it, and it had a great slip to it. And yeah, I mean, I'll see how it goes long term wise, but overall, texture and everything, I really liked it. I'll keep you apprised. Really quickly before we get into other things that I purchased, I just want to share a couple samples I got. I guess this one is both because I also bought something, but Farmhouse Fresh always has these little, Farmhouse Fresh, yeah, okay. They have these little samples, and I always grab them. One is coconut cream, and I just used it on my elbows because my elbows are so rough and it's so frustrating, and I love it. And then Sunshine Silk. My God, I haven't used this yet, but it looks a little bit creamier, and this one's a little bit thicker. I'm excited. I love their stuff. It always smells so good. Speaking of which, last year I'm on a foot healing, foot hydrating mission right now. And so last year I got the Honey Salve foot mask thing. Honey Salve, I think that's what it is. I don't know. It's for your heels and your feet to soften and hydrate them. And I really like it, but I just feel like my overall feels better, but my heel is still dry, it's not quite enough. So they recommended this Enrich Mint foot rescue mask made with cooling spearmint. So excited to try this. I'm literally going to put it on my feet after I'm done with this, and I'm hopefully that wasn't a horribly annoying ASMR. I haven't opened it yet, but it looks like that. It's so creamy. Their jars are so freaking cute. I love them. They look so cute on the shelf, and I have yet to come across anything that I haven't liked from them. Super excited about that. One thing that I absolutely had to have was a local company to Chico, actually, where I'm based, is Factor 5. They are a stem cell based skincare company, and I wish I knew more about the whole extensive science of it. I need to dive deeper, but I have trialed this product for a very long time, and I really, really like it. I saw great improvement. I didn't see any dryness or irritation or anything like that. I saw growth, and I didn't see any inhibiting factors towards dehydration, dryness, breakage, anything like that. I do chemically treat my brows, and I didn't have any issues. I also had a couple clients trial it, and I feel like they really liked it. I feel like, again, growth serums are so tricky because I feel like you have to be really dedicated to using it. And I will say I didn't use this like every single day, like dedicated, and I still saw improvement. I feel like that says a lot about it. I feel like you could see really, really good improvement if you used it super regularly. So I got 5 for my studio, and I'm gonna see how they sell. And how people take to it. It's about a 3-month supply, and you think it retails for around $80. I feel like that's a really great price point as far as like the 3-month supply, and these things are great. Oh, it's also lash and brow serum. I really like that too. So stem cells for that. And these stem cells are locally sourced and like manufactured and everything. They're not transported for a very long trek or anything like that to diminish its quality. I really like that as well. What next? What next? What next? Okay, another thing. I'm gonna get to brow down, but like it's such a big haul that I like want to save it. One thing I got another sample, a couple other samples that I completely just forgot to go over. I said I was like, I'm gonna start with samples and then skipped over it. This was a product. Okay, this is just kind of a funny story. So this is Hydra Silk Repair Serum. It felt really nice. My hand basically gets a facial every single time I go to these shows. It felt great on my hand, albeit it wasn't the first thing that I put on my hand. So, but it's supposed to be like a really nice repair serum. One of the a couple of the ingredients that popped out at me when she was explaining it was, again, stem cells. I feel like that is a very, very big kind of trendy term right now, like ingredient, but no hate. It also has Arnica and healing silver and gold, which I thought was very interesting because obviously Arnica is great for this is really good for repair and healing inflammation and redness and irritation. I thought the ingredients were very interesting, and it was cute. She was like, I put all these together and like nobody ever uses she's like, I don't feel like anybody ever uses the samples, and so I put candy in there, and I just thought that was hilarious. And I was like, girl, I use all of my samples. Like I was telling my friend, I use them to a fault. Eminence gives out a packet of samples every year, and I got one last year, and I was using one of their Power Peel like masks. And I used it once, and I felt like I didn't leave it like too long, and I don't know if I put it in a plastic bag or just kind of like folded it over and like kept it in a dark, cool spot in a drawer in the bathroom. But I like want to use it again, and I completely burned the shit out of my face. I'm like, girl, I use it to a fault. Thankfully, this is nothing like that, and it will not harm me in that same way. Yeah, I feel like it would be interesting to use post hair removal just to see like how well it helps and heals. And the only thing, of course, is like anything pore clogging, which I don't necessarily see that, but yeah, intriguing little sample. Other thing that I thought was really cool, I talked to my reel recently that like my trade show little thing was that I thought that the hair removal and brow world was a little bit better represented in the booth, and one thing I got was a wax sample, and this might be more regular at like the larger shows, but at the smaller shows I've never seen anything like this. This was really neat. I think it's such a cool thing. It had like her business card, and I actually have her. This is Rebel Wax. She is Lash and Wax OC, and I have her pads, like her wax pads. This is so cute. I'm so excited to try it. And it also has like a free hard wax course attached to it. So I thought that was really neat. I feel like going the extra mile like that is so incredible, and I don't know, I absolutely love it. This is her blue gummy wax. I'm really excited to try that. And I guess we'll just roll into brow down because we're already talking about wax, which is so funny. I'm a threader, guys, but your girl is still intrigued. When I say learn all of the things, know all of the things, be that brow Swiss Army knife, right? You can do it all. That's why I'm still interested in wax. I still want to know what's going on. I had to, of course, check out my love Renee's of Brow Down's collab with Natraverde. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I do not pronounce anything correctly. But this is his sculpting wax. I got to see it in action at the trade show, and it's smooth like butter. I feel like one of the biggest things I noticed was how easily it glided and like was still pliable. I'm a hard wax girly, as far as like the very limited amount of hard waxing of waxing that I do. But I love that he still had movability, pliability, and like to spread and even that like make an even layer before removal. One of the things he was telling me about it, beyond the fact that it's made with skincare ingredients, which I think is insanely awesome, but another thing that really caught my eye was that it's a blend of it technically falls into the category of soft wax because you use the strip with it, but it has like a consistency similar to hard wax and the sensitivity factor that hard wax has. It's not adhering to the skin as much as just adhering to the hairs. I think that's phenomenal because I think that's what most of us want. Like the reason I use hard wax is because I feel like soft wax can be so freaking exfoliating. And when we're doing things like lamination, that's super duper startling. And I don't want anything like that. Yeah, I just thought that was so cool. I'm super excited. It also says, which I didn't even notice this until just now, it says low melt temperatures. I guess that's another aspect of not really causing a lot of irritation because, of course, the heat, regardless of what you're using wax wise, like as sensitive as it can be.
Hey, it's Emily here from Brow Fox Beauty. I'm so proud to be sponsoring this episode of Brow Education. If you are new here, let me tell you a little bit about Brow Fox Beauty. We are a professional brow line for the esthetician. We specialize in easy retail for the busy esthetician. We also have a line of better back bar basics so you can be super confident putting pre and post wax solution and massage oil onto your client's skin, giving them the best glow and the best brows yet. You can find more information at browfoxbeauty.com or on social media at browfoxbeauty.
That heat is a factor that affects the skin. The lower the temperature, I feel like the better. It's also made with hyaluronic acids. What the reasoning is, not only is that going to be helpful, not only is that going to be helpful for the skin, but it's also going to be helpful for the hairs. This is something else he taught me. And him and this company were talking about, they're both really big on hydration, which I think is beautiful because we do so much dehydration, with our saline and all that kinds of stuff. We're kind of removing and stripping the skin of oils. Rehydrating, I think, is very important for like just longevity and client care. And so one of the things is that this actually is going to help hydrate the hair follicle so that it is removed more easily, because when the hair is silky soft, it can slide out of that root a lot easier. When it's dry, it's going to give a little bit more of a tug and friction. So I thought that was incredible. Lots of learning. Now, in true wonderful fashion, Renee is incredible. I bought the Lamy line so we have step 1, perm, step 2, neutralize, step 3, nourish. Love this product. Also learned that you can use it as an aftercare product and even retail it to your clients, which I think I'm gonna start doing because look how freaking cute that is. We need a hot pink bottle on the shelf. But then he also gave me some swag for helping out, which I think is such a sweetie pie move. His foaming cleanser, which I absolutely love. It's also a pretty like large bottle. I feel like you get a lot of use out of it. Some of them are kind of small, and I'm like, what did I pay $15 for? I love his. And he also gave me some lash lift shields, which I'm so excited to try because you can also use the line for lash lifts, which I haven't done yet. I need to play around with, meaning model day. Maybe I'll record that because I'm super interested in how it's going to go. He gave me some of his Brow Natural, the lamination to go, which is great for clients to use when they're about that like 5th week mark of lamination, when everything's kind of starting to fall. We can get a little bit more out of it with this. He gave me one of his adorable timers. I'm not gonna be able to get it. Okay. I literally love it. His branding is so freaking cute. I love how loud and in charge it is. So adorable. Love. And then he gave me some of his little castor oil bottles and the cutest bag of all time. Love. So love him, love his entire team. They are incredible, and I was so lucky to be able to hang with them. Okay, next up, this is a new product that I've actually never heard of. A friend of mine that I was with was interested in it, and I love talking about, obviously, science. I'm a huge freaking nerd. We already know about that. We already know that I'm a huge nerd, and this really caught my eye. Now, what it is it is a serum. It's called Civ. Also, freaking love crisp, clean, crispy packaging. This is I'm just going to read straight off its bottle, spore-based biome balancing serum. We're talking about the microbiome, baby. We're talking about barrier function. We're talking about healing. And the fact that this has spores in it to help with the bacteria that we actually need on our face is so incredible, because I feel like we do a lot of accidental stripping. There is no way, shape, or form that these products are able to 100% isolate the exact specific bacteria. I feel like when we're removing bacteria, I think that we can do some accidental removal and cause irritation. And I think we see that in forms of like dehydration, redness, and sometimes even inflammation. I think this is such an incredible concept because while we're trying to heal these breakouts and allow things to heal, we have to keep our barrier function. And just like I love with the lilac and flint, like introducing hydration, I think that we have gone so heavy and we're really trying to use these very, very targeted ingredients, very, very active ingredients. I think that one thing that we're missing, our clients might be missing, is just the hydrating and healing aspect. And as somebody who does hair removal, we're always concerned about the hydrating and healing aspect. Anything to reduce inflammation and, assist in that repair and keeping that microbiome in a healthy, stable state with its a healthy like plethora of good bacteria. Now, another thing that was intriguing, and this is the science brain in me, and I'm just like, oh my God, I freaking love it. They have this technology, right? There are actually, you can see how there's some color on the bottom of this bottle. If you are only listening to this, stop what you're doing, run to YouTube if you don't have Spotify and look at it. It is dark, right? So what you do, that's the spores in the serum because it's active spores, right? You're gonna shake, 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 shake it up and make sure you're giving it a really good shake. They actually give you a card that shows what it should look like, which I think is really, really neat. We want to make sure that it's clear. So if it's not clear, it's not ready. Just keep shaking until it's clear. I feel like I've shook it this direction. I don't know if upside down works better or what. I think as long as you're just getting it shooken up, it's totally fine. And then you will see that it's totally clear. Now the spores have mixed in and it's ready to use. So it has a really, really beautiful, you're gonna pop, there's a where you can see the color, there's like a little pop button, and that's how you pop it out. She told me at the show to be kind of careful because a lot comes out, and she's totally right. But that is what the serum looks like out. It is so lovely and smooth. And honestly, it's so freaking light. Like, I don't think a client would be bothered by it at all. I don't see it having any sort of pore clogging. I feel like this would just be such a beneficial, soothing, hydrating, very, very targeted. And as somebody who uses benzoyl peroxide, I'm kind of intrigued to see if it can help with any like irritation that just automatically causes, because obviously dryness comes, but your girl gets breakouts and I'm not sacrificing my benzoyl peroxide, so why not add an ingredient that can help? One of the other things they had like a little booklet at their booth that had, before and afters in it. And another thing they had was a men's beard. Now, my husband has a beard, and I thought that was so intriguing. So I'm going to use it in there for any areas that he's getting dry, irritated, whatever. They get more sun exposure than I would like. Those men who don't listen to us. So I thought that was incredibly interesting. This is a long haul. And, I should have told you to buckle in. Your girl got down at the trade show. Okay, another one that I hit up every year is my people, my loves, my girlies at Sorella. I had to go and I got hydrating SPF 30, clench and protect. It is beautiful, like so beautiful. I was like, girl, I want dewy, I want hydrated, I want glossy, because that's all I care about nowadays. And it is so creamy. It rubs in beautifully, like it's already mixed in, like you can't even see it. It goes on luxurious, just like a moisturizer. I would say it's a little bit thicker than a serum, but it goes on like a dream. And it doesn't have a heavy scent to it. It doesn't have like a positive or negative scent. I feel like it's pretty neutral. And I love that because I don't really love, a sunscreen going either way. Like, I don't want to be completely void, I guess, because that's like kind of weird. I also don't want it to be like heavily, heavily scented, obviously, especially somebody who is acne prone. One thing that I do love being heavily scented sometimes is when it's blueberries. And this is the blueberry milk moisturizer. I know I don't love heavily scented, but this is really, that's sunscreen, because I feel like I'm putting sunscreen everywhere, and I feel like when they're heavily scented, I'm putting it on my eyes and it just gets irritating and it's so super annoying. Now, I don't really do that with my moisturizers. I'm not concerned by this. And I did ask the girlies, and nothing is pore clogging in either this or the sunscreen. And I do think that there is some people get irritated by things and some people don't. So I feel like the not pore clogging, non pore clogging is kind of vague at this point. But I do like to ask just in case there's certain things that I do prefer to avoid if I can. I love this stuff. It's super duper light. It's wonderful. It smells literally like a blueberry muffin. I can't get enough of it. I feel like I'm going to cherish every drop of it, and I just love it. I'll let you guys know. Of course, I just got it. I've not been using it very long to know any like long-term benefits, but it does say that it is nourishing, hydrating, and leaves you bright and glowy, which is literally the only thing that I can ask of my moisturizer. I love it. I feel like it absorbs really nicely. It doesn't feel super thick and heavy, which also love. We want our skin to breathe, especially when you're using a lot of products. Another thing that I was really excited about was that they just recently, I think semi recently, started carrying these hyaluronic hydrating patches, which I really, really love. So they're perfect to instantly hydrate tired, puffy eyes. A 3 pair. I got 2 packs. One of the biggest selling points that I thought was really neat was that she said they stayed put and they didn't move around like those thick glossy ones or those heavy like jelly ones. I'm excited to try these probably on myself and probably in the treatment room too. And they gave me a free lippy with purchase, which I was so stoked about because this avocado oil lip hydrator is my literal favorite. Like, honestly, pry it from my cold, dead hands. My favorite. It is, I mean, there's literally nothing better, and I've tried a lot. I love lip balms. I left my lips all icky gross for you so that I can put this on. Oh my god. I'm obsessed. I love the applicator. I love the tube. I feel like you have no problem getting all of it out. Even though it's a squeeze tube, and I know that that's rare. No issue whatsoever. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. It's so good. When she told me that was the free gift with like the amount that I spent, I was like, shut up. Give it to me now. I'm obsessed. I love it. Okay, we have a couple more to go, guys. Well, I'm not going to show you everything because it's a lot. You don't need to see each and every product, but Code of Harmony was at the show, and I was so freaking stoked to see a CBD line I was familiar with. And I was just stoked to try their products. I've heard really great things. One of the main things I was really, really excited about, which hopefully I can find this easily. Oh my god, first one, great. Oil cleanser. I love an oil cleanser. This one really, really emulsifies with water and gets nice and milky and creamy. I'm stoked to use it for makeup remover, and it does remove really well without feeling like thick and oily behind, but still leaves it supple and hydrated, which I really liked. I bought their little like trial pack. I think it was like 14 products or something like that. And I'm just trying them all. One of the things that I tried tonight, and that's why I feel like I literally look like a glazed freaking donut, is their Salvation facial oil. I am obsessed with this. Like, it feels so freaking nice. It's literally just botanical nourishment. Some of their products have CBD, some of their products don't, but they're all designed to help calm inflammation, give really nice hydration. They're anti-aging, anti-acne. And I have been on, as you guys know, I'm on a calming, soothing, we are getting rid of irritation kind of vibes. I was like, CBD is where it's at. I've always, always loved CBD. I used to carry Winged Wellness, but I wanted something more targeted. I felt like this was the best decision to kind of dive in. They have like an enzyme mask I really want to try. They have this other, oh my gosh, I'm doing such a good job grabbing the right ones. This thing that I was not expecting was Sativa's Toning Mist. Oh my god, it smells like heaven. It's so soft, soothing, and relaxing. I feel like this is going to be, if I were to pick anything right now that I had to carry, it would probably be this. But I feel like the oil cleanser will also be an interesting thing to have on hand. One other thing that I want to try is their body soothing salves. So this is one that I'm interested for. It says rest and recover. It's so cute. I think it might have a scent to it because it says breathe in the soothing scent and relax. I love that. I feel like this line would be beautiful for incorporating any sort of massage, and I feel like I might want to do that for like November, like giving thanks and all month long, like extending my appointments and doing like a little massage for them, or like doing it in my lammies and lash lifts or something. I like the longer appointments maybe. But yeah, I just feel like they gave me so much to work with, and I'm really excited. Another one they tried was their like youthful serum. So far, I really like everything. It absorbs really nicely. It's not super heavy, and it's all really naturally scented in a really beautiful way, not one that bothers me. Okay, I'm trying to keep this quick, but God, I bought a lot of stuff, guys. I really bought a lot. Last but not least, very boring. I bought a pack of really nice towels. These are hand towels from Towel Hub. I'm pretty sure he yelled at me to tell my friends. So, Towel Hub guy, I'm doing your job. Give me a brand deal. I don't know if they'd even do that. I don't even think they have social media. But I think it was $12 for a dozen towels. I think that's how many I got. It probably says on here. It doesn't say on here. I'm pretty sure I got a dozen. $1 a piece, fairly great price. They're pretty big. They are 16 by 26, which I think is the perfect size. They're white, so I don't really care about that. And they're going to get destroyed anyways with tint. And they're super silky soft, but my clients truly just lay their heads on them, and I don't really touch their face with it at all. Maybe a little bit when I'm cleansing their eyes, but not very much. Yeah, this is part of a newer investment, something I'm doing different coming very soon, but not quite ready to talk about it. This will make sense sooner, hopefully, rather than later. But yeah, that's what I got. This is a haul. This is a trade show haul. I'm gonna hit Vegas next year. That's the plan. We're gonna do the international show. Probably have way more stuff in this because it's gonna be so overwhelming. I'm gonna have to like literally be reeled in. But I'm gonna leave the comments on, and leave me a comment if you have any questions about anything or if you want any links to any of the products. I know I went over a lot, so you're gonna have to pause, go back. Make sure you're watching the video because it makes a lot more sense, I think. And yeah, stay tuned on Thursday for our episode drops and sporadic bonus episodes like this. Have a great rest of your night.